Hello everyone, welcome back to this fucking channel. That's what I'm going to say on that. Welcome back to E20 Zone fucking TV, the place to be when you got some fucking cunts in our club. To my right is Mitchell, and I've got to try and remain calm on this one because if I flip my lid, I'm going to go. I really am going to go on this one.
Just let it go, James. Just say what you say. Say how you feel, mate.
You want me to say how I feel?
Go for it.
Really? Right.
Yeah,
okay then. Are people listening to me now? That's all I'm going to say. I've been saying this for the last 18 fucking months, that this owner is driving us down quicker than a fucking airplane going into the ground, right? Where I need people to stand up and say this is unacceptable at West Ham United Football Club. Fuck Tottenham and fuck Mo going to Tottenham. That's not the issue here now. The issue is now is that we've got an owner who doesn't fucking care, ladies and gentlemen. He does not care. And he is a fucking mercenary. You think Mo's a mercenary? Sullivan is the fucking mercenary. I've been saying it for a long time. You've got to get this cunt out. Do you know what I'm saying? He's no good. Let me land. I'll let you land on what you want to say, mate. If anyone wants to come on, and I swear, no Tottenham fans want to come in here, mate, because I will cook his, mate. I will fucking cook his like a Sunday roast. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I am not in the mood, mate. Honestly, I really am not. Go on. What are you saying?
You know what? As much as I hate this goblin cunt, I'm kind of relieved it's over, this whole situation, because it's just been going for so long that I'm finally glad that the whole saga's kind of ended now with the Kudus thing. It got to a point with Kudus where I was just like, you know what, I don't really care if he goes Spurs now, but the fact he's only gone for 55 million, and it's undermined sources of saying that we wanted as close to 85 million release clauses as we could get. Apparently we'd accept close to 70 million, but we've undercut ourselves, and not just undercut ourselves, but undercut ourselves to Spurs is unacceptable. And it's all on this man.
Say that again.
This man.
I want you to say that again, so it goes loud and clear in every West Ham fan's ear. We've undercut ourselves to them because we're that desperate. And the reason why we're that desperate, ladies and gentlemen, is because the fucking owner is extorting money out of this club, and he's fucking laughing at all of us. He's laughing.
There is not a single club in this country that would be doing the same. And if they did, the fans would be rioting. It is a fucking disgrace.
It is. It is. Listen, right? Do I blame Mo in this? Absolutely not. I said it the other day, and people go, "Oh, you're fucking what? Mo's a Judas." Where's your energy for Sullivan? Like I've had the fucking energy for Sullivan for a hell of a long time, right? Do you know what I'm saying? This is it now. This is it. This is a different level now. I did not think David Sullivan would scoop to that level. I didn't, Mitch. I'm going to be straight. I really didn't. But he's gone to a level now that is beyond recognition now. That this goes way beyond anything now. Do you know what I'm saying? You've literally took the piss out of everyone, right? And people go, James, you're a negative. You're negative. We're going to get 65 million. What are you saying to me now? Say it to me now, for fuck's sake. Because I know what I'm fucking talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? I've been on the Sullivan fucking train for 9 fucking years. So I know what I'm fucking talking about. And I'm not going to be told by no cunt. I mean that. No fucking cunt is telling me any different now. Right? Because I knew he would never get the money that Spurs were going to offer. I knew he was going to buckle under the pressure. I knew. Of
course he has.
I knew it.
Why the fuck have we been put in a position where financially we are waiting for our summer transfer window to start by selling our fucking main prospect to Spurs? It is a disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace.
True. It's true. Like, I'm not being funny or nothing, right? This is where all the West Ham fans now have to turn and say, nah, this ain't right now. You've gone over the line there, Sullivan. Yeah? I need to see banners. I need to see people coming out. I need to see fucking walkouts, right? If I've got to go down to fucking Stratford and hold a banner outside the fucking LS, I will do it. I will do it. Because this is not right now. It's nothing to do with Tottenham on this one. It isn't. It's the lack of respect that Sullivan's got. And that is the $1 million thing here.
I think it is to Spurs, though, James, as well. Because if it was vice versa with Spurs, would they do it for us? Would they do a cut deal for us?
No, not a chance, mate.
They fucking wouldn't. So it is partly that is Spurs as well, in my opinion. And it does hurt that he's gone Spurs because I think he's a talented player, and if he does turn out to be, let's say, a world-class player for him, you know, I'll never forgive Sullivan, and I probably won't forgive Kudus. Look, I don't hate Kudus for it. I do dislike him now because
why? Well, I need to get to this. Why do you dislike Kudus? I want you to tell me.
Now look, it's the hatred is 90% on Sullivan, and rightly so in my opinion, but it does hurt the fact that he's played for us for 2 years and he wants Spurs. He solely wants Spurs.
No.
They've obviously spoken to a project about it.
No. We are forcing him out the door.
You think
I'm not
he's
having
been
this?
forced out the door?
Of course he has, mate. Right? That's why Sullivan's gone. Please, with his little dwarf hat, please give me fucking money, Levy, because I'm fucking skint. Do you know what I'm saying? And I need it as he's up there on the fucking standing on the yellow pages. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
mate. The sooner this fucker
he's
out,
still good.
The better.
I get that, but there is still a part of me that doesn't think it's acceptable.
Mitch, it's not acceptable for West Ham fans. I understand that. Am I happy with it? No, right? But I can't blame him. I can't blame him when Sullivan's like that going, fucking save our transfer window. Do you know what I mean? I tell you what, that fucking mate.
And there's apparently you have 3 years left in his deal as well, like, and we've let him go for the same price as Madueke and Alanga. And this is a man where last season it was probably worth 100 million at the time, at his peak. And he's 24? 24?
It's because we are fucking desperate. That's what it is. It's because when people like Nick and Gio and me and every other West Ham fan channel have been saying the same thing, right? And he's run up debts and we're in the shit, it all goes back to that little dwarf cunt. Simple as that. Everything goes back full circle. And who does it start with? David fucking Sullivan. This is not right. This is unacceptable. And he's been completely shafted. Levy's played the game. I called it the other day. I said it. I said they will come in again. They will drop another bid. And then West Ham will accept it. Yeah, because West Ham will buckle under the fucking pressure. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? As West Ham fans, right, we have a duty of care to our club. The duty of care starts now. Right? The duty of care starts fucking now. Right? Whether he's shit last year or not's irrelevant. 1, you don't sell to Spurs. 2, you don't undercut yourself. And 2, you don't put yourself in a situation where you're so fucking desperate for money, you're like that with a begging bowl. You don't do it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. There's no defending this one now, right? And if people say, oh, we got 55 million for him, James, right? He had an 85 million pound release clause. Honestly,
James,
mate.
say for example, because obviously we don't know the whole ins and outs of the whole deal. Say, because what I heard was that we're still waiting. Hold on.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mitch.
Oh, go on.
We've been undercut by 5 million. Chill out. What a fucking idiot's that? No, hold on. I'm going to demonstrate by idiotic fucking divs. Someone tell me what his release clause is. Someone in the chat, tell me, because I know. Everyone else knows.
We've been undercut by 55 million.
Fucking Jules
we wanted
don't
70. We wanted close to 70. So we've been undercut by 15. Whether we would have accepted 60 million is not the point. The point is that we don't undercut to Spurs of all teams. And a player that is one of our best players. James, what I was going to say because all I've been hearing from ITKs is saying, we want to start a bidding war. That's what we've been trying to do with Chelsea and Spurs. So, and we want to get close to 70 million. So, why is it that we've just accepted £55 million bid, especially since Madueke looks like he's going to Arsenal, when Chelsea could have been back in the fold? Do you reckon there's a possibility of a chance that Kudus has literally forced his way and said, I really want Spurs? Do you think there's any chance in that?
I think the only reason why he's gone to Spurs is because Spurs are the only club in for him. And West Ham have to sell. West Ham are running out of time.
I believe that, but
that
I
is
do believe that, James. But I do think you've got to be open-minded though, and there is still a possibility that, because I do find it strange that all the ITKs have been saying we want close to 70 million, and then we've just randomly accepted this 55 million pound bid. That is if it is 55 million pound bid, and not with add-ons. So obviously the details of the deal haven't come out yet. But X says he's handed in his transfer request. X has said he's handed in his transfer request. If that is true, then what do you say about that?
Why would you hand a transfer request in when there's the clubs have been negotiating the deal? Listen, Mo's got no loyalty to West Ham, right? That's why I'm not going to turn on Mo, right?
Exactly, but that's not fair though.
No, I'll tell you what's not fair.
You still have some loyalty towards the club.
No, I'll tell you what's not fair, right? What's not fair is us fucking in this situation. That's what's not fair, right? What happens next season?
Oh, fuck.
If we need to sell a player and then Jared Bowen's up on offer? It's, I'm not being funny.
That'll come out, James.
Fucking that needs to go straight.
Oh my
someone's
fucking
head.
God, there's a massive fucking spider on that gun. Jesus Christ.
Honestly, mate, I'm going to say this year, 55 mil, yeah, fine, great. The money's good, right? What people are forgetting when they're getting 75% of that. That's another crown fucking topper from Sullivan. Oh, we're only gonna get 75 mil for the sale of it, yeah. And we've got to pay our loans up, otherwise we're gonna fucking fault on the loans. It's anyone who wants to come on West Ham related, come on here. Have your fucking say. Me and Mitch will be here for a little while, but I'm just saying this, mate. I'm fucking disgusted, right? I've been saying it about Sullivan for a long time, and Sullivan's gone over the edge now. This is the one thing that I've always said it was brewing up with West Ham, and it's going to explode. Something's going to explode eventually. I just hope this ain't it. I really don't, because I think this could send a lot of people who are worse than me when it comes to Sullivan completely over the edge. Yeah, getting 55 mils one thing, fine. It is what it is. Selling to Spurs, I think, is unacceptable. I know full well Sullivan's gone to fucking Spurs and said, "Do you want Mo?" There's no way.
Wait, 15 left. Oh, Ike's got 7 calls as well, apparently. I would like to look at this. I would like to see what X has said about the situation. I'll tell you what, James. I'll come back in because I just want to get clarified on it. All right, give me a couple of minutes.
No worries. Go.
Right,
come back in. Let's chuck him out. Right, you're here with me. Get your questions in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a have your say. You've heard what I've had to say. I've been saying it for a long time. Yeah, people look at me that I'm some sort of fucking div. I'm not wrong, am I? Do you know what I'm saying? I've been saying this about Sullivan. He is acid stripping at his finest. This is the start of it. Mo's the first. There'll be someone else probably at the door before then, and then don't be surprised if it's Bowen next year. Let's see what Danny's got to say. Fucking fuming. Release clause 85 mil. Sell to Spurs for 95. It's on Sullivan. Kudus should not be going to Tottenham, but we shouldn't be pushing him out. I completely agree with you, mate. All right. Let's get this man in. Clivus, I can just about see you. What are you saying?
Yeah, sorry about the brightness. Can you actually hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
Yeah, sick.
Talk to me.
Sweet. Well, I can tell you what Eggs has said if you haven't had the full, because I did try and write in our little chat. Oh, he's back in as well. All right, I'll tell you what it is word for word. We've been waiting confirmation. Yeah, on the stance report of Ornstein has said the bid for 55 mil has been accepted. No reason to doubt it. Yada yada yada. And they're not 100% done. It's not great payment terms, but the players put the transfer request in, and they are the only show in town. All money will be used to bring in players. It appears that the club hoped that Chelsea would make a move today, but following discussions, it doesn't look like they're in a position to offer what Spurs are without involving other players for exchange. Kudus has also expressed the desire to be the main man at Spurs rather than being one of many at Chelsea.
Obviously, James, I know what you're going to say, but having a player hand in your transfer request knocks off value straight away. So that doesn't fucking help.
Well, I don't believe it.
Hold on.
What, you don't believe it?
I'll quickly put in my thing because I know James is. I kind of agree with both of your points. Is probably the best way to put this, right? Obviously, we've done this whole. We want 70, we keep saying it, keep on fucking saying it. And then we've gone, second bid, 55, fucking take it. Which, I'll be honest, I know I said, it'll be fine if we get 65, 70. That was kind of my bar. I was like, if we can get 65, do you know what? Last season, he weren't all that. It's not the worst case scenario. I think for 55 mil, when you look at the number of positions we need to fill, the number of positions that we need to, we're going to have to spend money on. It's 55 mil don't give you a lot. And let's just say hypothetically that Paqueta does get banned. That's also further money that we're not going to get. So for 55 mil, is that all we've got for this summer is obviously a big concern now, right? Because that's what's making me wondering, have we pressured ourselves into this shit show? Not saying buckled. It's right in the first place.
He's buckled. Sullivan's buckled under the pressure. What he's done.
I don't know how much we might get. I don't know what 45 million from this with the sell-on clause, maybe slightly more.
Well, they're saying
agent fees, whatever.
Yeah, they're saying we're going to get all the money from that, which is what I'd say it's probably about 2 players worth.
I don't fucking get why we didn't negotiate with Chelsea and get their players. Like, we wanted cash up front. What an easy cop out of that is to say, we want cash up front.
I'm telling you something
fucking
now.
Like 10 players we could take from fucking Chelsea.
I'm going to say this through experience, right? And I've been on to Sullivan for a long fucking time. So I know this is a play for him to cover his ass to make out Mo is the wrong one and he's the one who wanted to move out of here. I'm going to say this, right? I'm frothing at the fucking mouth here, yeah? Sullivan is trying to make out that Mo has put the transfer request in. Yeah, I'm saying it how it is.
My only thing with that is like, I don't think Mo is like your typical like West Ham through and through sort of thing. He might like how I that's where I do kind of agree with Mitch on this from his earlier points of like I don't think he cares about like the rivalry is what I mean. Like I get that. For him, it's like, it's just another Premier League team. To us, it's something. To him, it's fuck all,
Yeah, but I understand that. I get that completely, right? But the problem is that we're forcing him out the door. We have to sell.
Hey.
And people keep forgetting that we have to sell. It's Mo. No, we need to sell. We need to bring in players. We need to sell before we can buy. Fucking X was on this channel 2 weeks ago and told me. He told me in private. He said, James, it's not good, right? Because I asked him straight up, is this good or not? And he went, no, it ain't good, right? So we've got to sell. So all it does is make out that Mo's the bad one. Good luck to Mo, right? Hope he has a fucking great career wherever he goes, right, after this, right? I ain't going to fucking praise him for Spurs, but you know what I mean.
Well, do you wish him a good career now, James?
At the end of the day, mate.
I hope he fucking it's a horror show at Spurs.
No, I'm going to say this, yeah. He has been put up on offer because we're skint.
Whether he has or not, though, he's gone to Spurs, and he has. I believe.
But who's accepted the fucking bid, though, bruv?
Yes, I get that, but he's had his transfer request in, though.
He hasn't put no chance.
I reckon he has.
I don't think it matters to him as much as it would to us, sort of thing. So I would believe there is probably a transfer request put in. Will it be in part because he feels like he's not wanted, even though we've probably gone, well, he's the biggest asset we have outside of Jared Bowen in terms of money right now? Yeah, probably. And has it sort of probably made him go, well, fuck it. If that's how West Ham feel about me, then obviously, first bid opportunity, I'm going to put in a request. But obviously, I don't think for him it's like, fight or flight in the sense of, it's Spurs, it's going to be such a big deal. I just don't think it matters for him as much. If it was someone like, say, Jared Bowen, for instance, right? he's not going to be the sort of person that's going to go to Spurs
every single time.
For another club,
I'm going to say this: every single fucking time that a player wants to leave, it's always that they're a mercenary or they want out, they all this. But yet again, we don't stop. Take a calm breath from
to be fair though, that's not true though, because I heard that Declan Rice was respectful and trained hard and was still good during the whole Arsenal debacle.
Yeah, but I'm not being rude. I think Declan Rice was telling fucking fans that he was going to stay. So, you know, like, at the end of the day, do I look at Mo and think Mo's a fucking villain in this? No, I don't.
No, I'm not saying he's a villain in it. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna like him after this now. I'm not gonna see him go to Spurs and go,
oh no, obviously not. Listen, but the way I look at this, we've literally forced him out the door.
Well, do you know what I find frustrating out of all of it is obviously I've always banged on about us having a very high average age, sorry, in terms of Premier League players, and we've got rid of one of our younger players, 24-year-old.
James, he handed in a transfer request. Stop the conspiracy theory of your own mind. How about fuck off? How about that? How about fuck off? Because I ain't been fucking wrong before, have I? Do you know what I'm saying? I was saying this a year ago about Sullivan, what's going to happen. And everyone goes, no, you're negative, you're this, you're that. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you don't like this fucking channel, fuck off out the fucking door. Don't come back. Do you know what I mean? I've had a fucking gut for these wankers out there. West Ham fans, these are. These are West Ham fans. And they're going, this is acceptable. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's fucking unacceptable, right? It goes way over the line now. Way over the line. Right, and I know full well Sullivan's gone to Levy. No, there's no way Daniel Levy's rung up Sullivan asking for Mohammed Kudus. Not after 10 years. Don't be fucking deluded. Right, Sullivan's gone to Levy and said, right, we're looking to sell a Kudus. Are you interested? And Levy's used that for him to get a good deal. I said it the other day.
But are you saying Thomas Frank then wouldn't have wanted?
Pardon?
Are you saying Thomas Frank wouldn't have wanted Kudus?
No, what I'm saying is that Sullivan's gone to Levy and offered the player.
Oh, to offer him, right? Okay, fair.
He's offered the player.
A different scenario.
And that's what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not being funny enough.
I have to say, I do think this situation now creates a possibility of, if we have a shitty start to the season and looking at our fixtures, they're a little bit precarious as it is. I do think this will create another. What was it, Burnley situation that we had of
coming, mate.
6 years ago.
We just have to fucking sign just with players like this week. We've got to just start putting bids in now.
But I don't even think it's just signing. I think it's a case of, if we do genuinely start the season awfully, it's going to create a very toxic atmosphere now.
Oh yeah.
We've got rid of one of our best players.
Maybe that is why he sold at a cut deal and knows that he has to do it early, because we are fucked as a squad. He may know that we're fucked. Graham Potter might have seen the squad in pre-season and gone, nah, these are all fucking useless, these cunts. I've got Guido Rodriguez.
We've got about what, 13 days until the US tour starts, and in my opinion, we need our signings by the time of the Premier League summer series.
Fucking brilliant comment. Absolute brilliant comment, right? Sullivan doesn't have to pay because his contract's up now. That he's handed a transfer request in, saving money again for Sullivan. If that's the case, he's tried to push that narrative out there, right? Honestly, right? He's trying to paint Mo as the bad person now.
But the source doesn't come from Sullivan. The source comes from
I was about to say
other sources. It's Clement Hugh that says.
Right, listen. Why would you put a transfer request in when you know you're going to be sold? Just explain that to me, please.
Well, you don't know you're going to be sold. It's a case. We're at the moment. We're on the 9th of July. If you're Mohammed Kudus and you've been told, and this is the part where I say I'm agreeing with you here, James. That for me, if you're a player and you've been told you're high priority to get rid of because you bring in the most profit when the club needs money, right? In that situation, the player now knows that he's in a situation where there's no guarantees of what's going to happen and your future is in question, and it creates uncertainty. Therefore, if you are a player, you're thinking to yourself, well, you want this sorted as soon as possible and not in 6 or 8 weeks' time, right? So in his head, he's probably gone, well, I want to get this dealt with as soon as possible. And obviously he wants a Champions League club. There's no guarantee that say in 4 weeks' time, it's going to be a Champions League club that is going to go, we want you, and put in the correct amount of money.
Right.
And
I'm going to be honest.
He's not taking a chance.
I'm not being funny or nothing. If you know the club are selling you, you know the club are going to come back with another bid, you ain't putting in a transfer request. If this was the third bid that West Ham had rejected from Spurs and it was backwards and forwards consistently, I'd agree with you. It's only the second.
I see that. I see that. But maybe the situation is worse than we thought, and Kudus is desperate to go to Spurs, and he's hating West Ham, and he's.
Is it he's desperate, or is it we're desperate?
I think it's probably a bit of both.
Cool. Yeah.
I would say no. Let's not go 50-50 here.
Right? It's mostly us. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it's still a bit of both. Like if you're the player, you want to get out, right? You want to know your future.
This is more on us than it is on him. This is because
100%.
So it's
what I don't get is that we haven't really spoke about is why have we not negotiated with Chelsea? I don't get the whole thing. We want cash up front part when we could potentially get a much better offer and deal with a better club than Spurs with the whole cash plus player deal. Like if we were Dewsbury Hall,
but the players we were probably being offered were too much on wage, I reckon. Because if you look at the players that they were offering, they're more senior players in terms of age, which makes me think the wages were.
They're offering Trevor Chalobah. Chalobah's wages, so I think like $80,000 a week. I think
yeah, that's still. I mean, he's worth it. Don't get me wrong, but if you're Kudus
just let go fucking four players. Let go of 4 players.
Well,
I know. Plus.
I know.
If Potter starts slow in the new season, like Clive said, who's to blame?
Again,
I think it's both.
It depends. It is both. Yeah.
It's not both.
It is both.
No. Go on, you explain first.
Can I go first?
It depends. You can't say right now because you don't know if signs are going to come flooding in the door now. You don't know if no one's going to be signed. You don't know if he subs on, I don't know, a fucking fan for a goalkeeper. And we look to see 10 goals. You don't know what's going to happen until they win.
If let's say, for instance, right, that accepting this offer, as much as I don't think we should at 55 and yada yada and all the rest, look, we can't change it. It's now happened, right? Let's say because we've accepted the offer earlier, it now enables Potter to get his players in that he does want sooner, and it gives them the chance to have a preseason. If those players now backfire because Potter can't integrate them, that's on him. That's his preseason. That's not the owner's preseason. That's his preseason, right? At the end of the day, he is the manager of the club. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think Sullivan's right on certain things. My point is more, we've now given Potter the chance, if we do sign players in the next week, etc., because of this, it now gives him the opportunity to have a full preseason with the players he wants. So if he can't integrate the team that he wants, that is on the manager.
Right.
But hold on, the manager is a decision made by the chairman, and ultimately, if it fails twice in a row, 2 managers in just over 12 months, that does fall on the chairman, right? So I think there's no smoke without fire, but ultimately, if Potter thinks he's the right guy and he thinks these signings and having a full preseason means that he can bring stability to West Ham, then he's got to prove it. If he fails, you can't say, well, it's not his fault. Ultimately, that it falls on the manager.
Right. Sullivan's setting Potter up to fail. Simple as that. I'll make it fucking crystal
clear. You can say that about Moyes.
No.
But James, why would you then, from a financial point of view, why would you go, I'm going to set this manager up to fail? Because financially, he's bad.
I'll tell you fucking why.
It also makes him look bad.
Because he's done it all the time. He set Moyes up to fucking fail in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he was too far. It was too far gone with that.
Let me go through it with you.
Right,
I'll go through it with you because my memory's like a fucking elephant, mate. I don't forget fuck all, and maybe I need to get a life. Right, Sam Allardyce, 2014, beginning part of the season, excellent. Doesn't want to offer him a new deal. Fucks about. He fucks off. The Moyes situation, right? Fucks about with him. The fucking Pellegrini situation, right? The fucking Julian, I ain't got no fucking clue what I'm doing can barely speak fucking English, Lopetegui, right? He ain't got a fucking clue what he was doing. Yeah? Who picked these managers, ladies and gentlemen? Who picked them?
Oh, James, I'm not saying that.
David fucking Sullivan.
James, I'm not saying that, but I believe
that's literally
he's got these
what I'm
managers
saying, right?
in because they're a cut price. He don't like spending money.
Yeah.
I've never understood the whole point with Sullivan, why he's always wanted to spend and let like 10 million less and not buy a manager out of his contract, but spend 100 million in transfer window, but have some shit cunt like Lopetegui running the ship.
That comment there,
but James,
is brilliant.
But James, that's what I was saying to you. Ultimately, you can't say that Potter is, not at fault if he's getting a preseason with the squad that he wants.
Right.
If he's the right appointment or not is down to us blaming the chairman, right? But you've already just literally said what exactly I said. Ultimately, Allardyce. Well, I mean, the whole list. There's no point in me going through the whole managers list. It's obvious, but if it fails, that doesn't look good at all on Sullivan, does it? So, but you can't say, oh, well, ultimately we should keep Potter and it's Sullivan that needs to go. Ultimately, it would have to be both that would need to go, in my opinion, if this fails, which I'll be honest, I don't think it will work. And I think the funny thing is we're going back to a style that the fans did not like, and that's what Potter's going to bring. So even if we are to be, let's say we get mid-table, mediocre at the beginning of the season, I don't think that will be accepted by the fans. So I think regardless, we're in a position where we're going to look very turbulent, very quick.
Yeah. So, Daddy, welcome.
Hello there, everyone.
Take it away, mate, because I need to calm down. Because if I die, that means Sullivan fucking wins, and I ain't letting that fucking come in.
What can I say about it? This was the most obvious thing that was going to happen. I even predicted we were going to get fleeced on Kudus. You want to plead poverty all fucking summer, then teams are going to lowball you. Firstly, what
exactly
happened?
100%.
What happened to a few days ago? All the top accounts were saying there's going to be a Spurs tax on Kudus. Well, where did that go? That Spurs tax disappeared. Oh, Sullivan was laughing at the first offer they made. They offered $5 million more, and he accepted it. He's a clown. Our owner is a clown.
Carry on, mate. Honestly, because what you're saying is true. Do you know what I mean? You might sound like Kermit the fucking Frog, but you're fucking spitting. Do you know what I'm saying?
Hold up.
I've had a fucking gut for this club. I'll tell you what, mate.
And Clive, with this 55 mil, how many players are we going to sign? 1, 2? Like two and a half players is what we can buy. And what are we interested in? Well, our first signing is probably going to be a 20-year-old fullback. We're interested in a bunch of young players. And our strategy is hopefully they all do good. Like, they're not going to need time. Clive is right. This isn't going to work out this season. Those new players will need time. We're not going to be ready for the start of the season, and Potter will get sacked eventually. And the cycle will keep continuing. We'll be in the same position next summer when we finish 16th and we're looking to sell Bowen, or Bowen wants to go because we're nowhere near competing. It's an endless cycle with this guy.
It's an absolute shit show.
Well, while you stop there for a minute, Clive, do you want to read out that what you've just put in the chat?
Oh, yeah.
Go on, mate. You can do that if you want.
Yeah, sweet. So, allegedly, according to a high-powered source within the club, and given on West Ham's take on the Kudus situation, why the bid has been accepted is the following reasons. They do not necessarily agree with the explanation that has been given, according to the source, and they're simply reporting what they've been told. So, West Ham were prepared to accept an offer less than what was originally said at around the 70 million mark, as there was no option, and this was just cash bid. The club also looked at other bids that have been made for various Premier League players. That includes Anthony Elanga, who they consider was better in the previous 12 months than as a benchmark. And that 55 plus add-ons is not a terrible figure. They've also considered the bids and fees put in for players such as Pedro, who went to Chelsea, and Bemo, who who obviously is linked with Manchester United at this current moment. The club are also keen to reiterate that the player only wanted to join Spurs, turned down offers from Saudi at the start of the window. And when it was discovered that both Liverpool and Arsenal would not be looking to bid, Spurs became the preferred destination. The club were also conscious of keeping a player against his will, and that the longer the saga would play out, it would be a detriment to his value, and his value could potentially decrease. The club believe and consider Bowen to be much better right winger than Kudus and can strengthen other positions. They've also been quick to point out that 35 million of this season's budget has already been spent on Tobido, as per the loan agreement deal for the 1st of July, where Tobido was officially signed by the club. Just to end it on, please do not shoot the messenger. This is what I've been told. So it's not great, is it?
Fuck you, Clive.
I tell you what, right? Fucking beautiful, isn't it? Fucking beautiful, mate. Honestly.
No, James, we are actually fucked. Like they're saying with the Kudus money, we can strengthen it in multiple positions. What 2 positions? Like if 55 mil.
That's what I mean. If they're saying all we had was 35 mil and we've spent it in Tobido, it's literally what I said when I first got on here, which was, oh, great, we're going to buy about 2 players and that is it. That is literally it.
Unless
and we've got rid of how many players?
We sell others, but I don't think we will. Currently...
Well, how are we going to sell Paqueta when this saga is still going on? And
no one's been... Average has only got links. No one's got concrete interest in him.
No one's making off more than 10 mil. And 10 mil for a Gued.
I'm saying, the board's saying, coming out and saying, we've got no fucking money. We're waiting on May to come in. Hold on. Why there comes a bidding.
Hold on. Sonny's happy. Fucking Sonny fucking J. How about fuck off down to Sonny, bruv? You know what I mean? I'm not here for you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck off. Not interested. Carry on, Mitch. I got Tottenham fans in my ear here fucking giving me stuck. Listen, Clive just spoke. Clive just told you all, right? How much more evidence do you need that we're fucked with this cunt in charge of our club?
20 mil of our current money is going on a 20-year-old unproven left back that we're going to need to be a world beater straight away. He can't be terrible this season. Like, we're gambling on unproven. But then
look, to be fair, Sadali, with that though, you could say about anyone you sign that they've got to be proven.
Well, signing a 20-year-old from Slavia Prague is a much bigger risk than signing other players. But yes,
if you sign from the English league, we already know it's always more expensive, right? But
and then you have to pay more money and then you have less money.
Yeah, he played well, and look at the players that we have signed from Prague in the past. We signed someone like Kudus. Kudus has had a great return for the 15-20 million he cost us. And same with Soufal. Soufal cost us how much? And he had a good return. Ultimately, look, he's aged out 100%, but I think getting a 20-year-old in who's looking pretty decent isn't the worst thing. I like the look of Juve, to be fair. Yeah, I think Juve looked good against England, but obviously the issue isn't whether Juve would be good or not, because I actually think money for value, he ain't bad, but the bigger issue is more that we're having to get rid of star players to fit in and to beef up the squad a bit. But it's what is it? Potter wants to keep a Gued, and
I've got to ask this
though. Stay.
Yeah, and I don't want you saying it's. I don't want none of you saying it's a bit of both. Right, get off the fence. Why are we in this situation?
I would love to know, because obviously we don't even own the stadium, which is a big concern to me. Not that we don't own the stadium is a concern, but that's a separate concern on its own. But my point is, considering we don't own a stadium and we're only paying about 2 million a year to rent it, I would love to know where all this money has disappeared to, because ultimately it does need to be questioned. I know I've said it privately with between ourselves. I know I've said, the gold situation's a bit different, and I do believe that. I think that's a little bit of a tough situation because of the probate And I don't know if you guys saw, but at the beginning of the year, there was talks that Gold didn't even have a will, and then it turned out he fucking did, and then now it's created a whole court situation. But if you actually look, I believe it's Vanessa, isn't it? Vanessa Gold, who owns the 25%. She actually did file for bankruptcy initially, just before that got found, because of the probate amount. Because obviously she's having to pay for both the club, and its worth according to HMRC, plus also Ann Summers, which is two different things. So from that aspect, it's a shame we've not been able to secure a purchaser for that 25%, but it also shows that we have too many chefs in one kitchen. I have to question why Kretinsky's not purchased more of the club. There was the ability.
Maybe knows that the person he's working with.
He's not being restricted. He purchased the post office, for fuck's sake.
No, but
he purchased the fucking post office.
Yeah, but with West Ham,
the post office is dying more than West Ham is.
Right, hold on. If Sullivan's not prepared to put no money into this club, why should Kudinski?
Well, yeah. Well, no. I'm not. My point is that he should have put in a bigger percentage. He could have bought out. He could have bought out Gold. He could have taken in more of a percentage. He probably could have even got Gold at a cut price. Let's be honest. If you're desperate because of probate, and let's be honest, you're fucking desperate because of probate. That to me is a 25% of the club that is probably at a cut price. So you're telling me nobody wants West Ham at a cut price at that 25%. Something's not right. 100%. That's probably why Kretinsky's not put in more. I don't think that puts Kretinsky at scot-free though. I do think there is an extent of he needs to also put in a little bit.
I'm not saying that.
No, 100%. I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying that whilst all of the blame, or the majority of the blame, should be at Sullivan, there has to be looking at the wider picture here, which is Kretinsky still owns a major percentage of the club, the second largest percentage of the club. He still needs to put in a little bit, even if, if Sullivan puts in 100, then Kretinsky should be putting in 25 mil. But obviously, if one person's not willing to put anything, the other person shouldn't put in anything. But my point is, we've got too many chefs in one kitchen. We've had too many chefs in one kitchen for fucking far too long. And we're now reaping the rewards of how fucked up that is, because we have three owners, one that's in a position where it's a little bit fucked. So I'm not going to speak ill of the dead here, or her, her situation, because I think she's been put in a situation that's a bit rough.
Right.
But when it comes to Kretinsky, when it comes to Sullivan, answers need to be said. What I'd love to say is, we always hear fucking the little clown bloody rabbit his mouth off every 5 fucking minutes. He's like a fucking vibrator, isn't he? But we've never heard fucking anything from Kretinsky. The man's silent, more silent than fucking the Kremlin.
But the thing is, Sullivan's got it sewn up there, right? He's got it sewn up in the ground. He's got it sewn up upstairs, right? This is where the West Ham fan base have to turn around and say, no, this is unacceptable now. You need to fuck off.
100%. But, if you're Kretinsky and you've still put in, 200 odd million to own the percentage that you have,
if you really were
pissed off, you would say so. Yeah, but if you were really pissed off, if you were Kretinsky and you really are pissed off, right, which is why you're not putting money in, then fucking come out and say something. Have some cojones and say something. Because my man managed to purchase the fucking Royal Mail for God knows how much, and the amount of debt that's got, but he can't fucking say anything about West Ham.
So, Daddy, anything else you want to add on? And Tone, if you want to come on, mate, if you can. So Daddy, any final words?
Yeah, we are fucked. This is going to be another shitty season. But be positive. No, I'm not being positive about this shit. What's there to be positive? We are ran by 3. How many clowns? I'm sorry. They should all go.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate.
There is no long-term future with this ownership.
No,
it's as simple as that. No matter how you want to cut it, whether you see this as a good deal or the fact that fuck it, let's move on with the transfer business now. This shows that there is no long-term future under this ownership. So it is depressing. It's
unacceptable, Mitch.
I think it's going to be. Yeah. I think it's going to be a really rough season, and I don't mean that from just what we're going to see on the pitch. I think this is going to be.
I think it's already there.
I'd say we're not far off.
It wouldn't surprise me if we went and got 8th. Nah. That sounds silly, but it really wouldn't surprise me.
Could you imagine? I mean, ultimately, I think, look, we've seen weird shit happen. I mean, look at 20 odd years ago when you saw Reading, in their first season in the Premier League. We've seen clubs do well with very little, but
the first season always came in. That was the first full season.
Yeah.
I remember looking at
this is different.
We get relegated. I get it. It's a completely different situation. The club is in a much more of a mess financially and players and the situation now.
The issue is, Mitch, right, is why are we in this situation when we shouldn't be? When you are in a rented accommodation, because that's what it is, it's rented fucking accommodation at West Ham United. Why are we going out with a begging bowl to our rivals saying, please save our transfer window? That's the question that needs to be asked. And then people go, it don't matter who we sell, we can now move on with the transfer window. Bollocks. That's what I say to that straight away. Because if that is the case, then there's no boundaries with you then. If you think that's acceptable, there's no boundaries. And I can't accept that. I'm sorry. And I don't want to know a person who thinks that's acceptable, if I'm being truthfully honest. Because we should not be in this situation where a West Ham United Football Club, we're the 16th richest club in world football, right? And we are run like a fucking market stall down fucking Bow Road. And that's it. Like, I'm getting sick to death with the excuses. Now I need to start seeing some solutions, and I'm not seeing many. Like, the solutions is hope for the fucking best. And that is where I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Need to throw this fucking little cunt out the door. Honestly,
the fact that we wanted to offload like 90% of this squad, and we've offloaded one player so far. I mean, I'm looking at the midfield. I still think we had one of, if not the worst midfields in the Premier League last year. We couldn't dominate a fucking game to save our life in that midfield. We had no legs, and all these cunts are still here.
Do you know what's so funny is then? Do you know what's so funny is the person that was providing the most goal scoring threat was Souček, and he was fucking benched in a shit midfield.
Don't be surprised.
That's the funny thing.
Don't be surprised if there's another sale of a big player. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, because I would guarantee that if Paqueta is not banned, he will be sold. He will be sold at what, 40, 50 mil? Let's be honest, we're not going to get anything higher than that for Paqueta, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah, I know, mate.
Yeah. I need to make a move, boys.
Welcome, mate.
Yeah, Mitch.
See you later, mate.
See you later, boys.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, see you, Mitch.
Take it in, Mitch. I was in meetings all day and that, and then turn the phone on after the meetings and then see that kind of news, and it's like, are we that low balling ourselves to just accept another 5 million on top of what we've kind of rejected in the first place? It's, Can
I ask you something, Tone? Is this over the line now for you? I think this goes way over the line for me. There's a lot of things Sullivan's done, which I hate. Yeah, and I hate's a strong word, but I despise this man. Yeah, but on this one, I feel like he's gone way over the line on this one.
I think for me and that, it's seeing what we're going to do up to September, what business we're going to do. If we don't do any business, then that seriously puts things into perspective. Because if we're not going to push on by kind of bringing the new players in, then it's going to be a long, hard season. As Clive said, it's going to be. Sorry, Clive. I mean, it's going to be a very long season for us, and that's 2 years now of pain that we should have had in the first place.
I agree. I agree, mate.
Lest we remember, and James, this is something that you would be more on. We were promised that at this football ground we would be getting high class football, high class players. Instead, today we have decided to sell a high class player.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And how you've just summed that up is pretty beautiful, really. If I'm being truthful, how you've said that, because I feel sad now. I can accept players going, but to sell Mo when really we shouldn't be in this situation in the first place. And the only reason why we're in this situation currently is because our financial situation is gone up shit's creek without one's paddle. And that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? The question is now, right, is how does every West Ham fan feel? Because some West Ham fans are like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, right? It's 55 mil. He wasn't that good last year. I don't care if he wasn't that good or he was amazing. You don't sell to Spurs, right? That's the first thing.
Well, also, theoretically speaking, we've been trying to down the age of our players, and we've sold the 24-year-old, albeit even if he isn't going to be as good as Bowen. I'm not saying that we should have sold Bowen, by the way. Let's just get that clear here. But we've basically put our money on someone that's 27, turning 28, if I'm not mistaken, around that age. So ultimately with Bowen, you're looking at maybe 3-4 years left of his prime that we're building a squad around, and then what? Because that's a medium term solution to, we've got rid of our medium to long term player in that situation. Albeit I can understand from a Kudus point of view, you don't want to be playing second fiddle to Bowen, but ultimately, if Paquet does go down, then that was where Kudus would have played, right? So it's such a strange situation.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if you look, sorry, Joe, I didn't watch it. I mean, for Ghana and that, he can play up top. So why we never featured him there when he's got the potential to do that? He's proved that with his own country. So why are we not exploiting that side of things? That way, you've got it easy. You've got Somerville out on the left, you've got Bowen out on the right.
Well, I mean, Somerville's not going to be playing until October.
Of course. So, I mean, if you think, I'm talking about before the
in general, yeah, 100%.
It's one of those, because that answers it ticks all the boxes. Antonio being injured, Fulkrug, we weren't too sure when he was coming back. There's your immediate answer. It would have solved so many problems there and then. Going back to what you said, though, Clive, I mean, if you look at we've got good money for Rice, and then our two next best sellable assets are Bowen and obviously Kudus. Now, but Rice we sold for 105 million. Kudus, big money. Bowen should be big money. Why we suddenly decided now, after all this, and considering the board put this contract in with the release clause, which obviously for the second year running, which runs out tomorrow, has not been triggered. So we're willing to take a hit on that for something that we put in the first place. It just doesn't make sense. As a business model, it doesn't make sense.
Business is failing.
Let's
be honest. Exactly. Let's be honest. The business is failing. Right?
But ultimately, the Rice money was put towards a lot of the players over the last, let's say, 2 summer windows, so that you could easily go, okay, fine. That means, in the sense of money that we did and didn't make, you would think, okay, fine, whatever. We've spent a bit, but that was equaled out by players we've sold. But then I'm looking at the fact that TV rights that we would have got from UEFA games, so Europa League and Europa Conference League, albeit Conference League isn't as lucrative, but the Europa League 2 out of the last 3 seasons that we'd had, there's lucrative money from that. There's lucrative money from sponsorships, lucrative money from all these sorts of things. And to me, there's multiple things that don't add up, but it makes you wonder, which is what James has said, like, how the fuck are we in this position? Because we should be able to spend a bit, because you could take away 2 windows from the Rice money. So we should be able to spend money. And also we've got a new shirt sponsor. So surely that's more money that's come in. But also, to digress slightly, why the fuck are we chosen a shirt sponsor that we're only going to get 1 season out of?
Do you know why?
Because we're idiots?
No, I think Sullivan's selling up soon, and the sooner he is out the door, the better. I think this is just the beginning.
I agree with you. He's repeating what he did at Birmingham.
100%, 100%. And I can see it coming. He's going to start taking away all the assets, not inject any money, and probably, I'm going to say 18 months, maybe 2 years down the road, he'll be gone. And the sooner he's at the club and we can repair this club with an owner that's going to invest in this club, the better. I really do.
You say that, and my biggest fear is exactly what happened at Birmingham. Is who was next in Birmingham, and that was Carson Young. And look how that one went as well. So when someone straps a club like that, you get desperate to get a new owner, and then the FA fail to do their job properly and see the owners test through, do they? So
unless because Kudinski buys him out.
Won't happen.
And that's what you'd hope, but he should have done that by now. It won't happen. I think Kretinsky goes as well. That's what I mean. That's why I've been a bit critical of him, because in my head, you've got the opportunity right next to you with gold to buy at a cut price 25% of the club, and you ain't.
You got to think he's invested, what's it say, like 150 million euros in tarting up Sparta Prague's ground.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and
his money's gone into that.
How much in Royal Mail?
3 billion buying the Royal Mail. So what? Breaking news, it just come through.
Breaking news.
But what's the point of him doing that when basically it's an investment tool for him? It keeps him in London for one, so it's close to post office.
Oh yeah.
He can jump on the train. He can jump on the plane. So he's in Europe straight away. It's a quick, where he's positioned at this point is ideal for him.
Perfect.
It's not ideal.
Oh yeah, and he has what is it? The second largest percentage of JW Sainsbury's supermarket.
Yeah, it's that as well. Exactly. So that's where his interests are. We are just kind of I suppose
we're a pawn. We're just a pawn.
It's where he can kind of relieve some of his tax from the other two things. Yeah. He can do that, and like I said, he wants to. If he does sell up, he'll want a return on the money he invested in the first place. Or
exactly. I never thought he would be a serious owner. As soon as the 2-year area where he had the opportunity to buy out the club happened and passed, I knew we were just another piece in his puzzle, which is very frustrating because it just doesn't help the situation that we are ultimately in, because now you are stuck with too many chefs in one kitchen. It creates a situation where if you are looking to purchase the club, you're looking at it just looking extra messy versus like having one owner where you can go, okay, I can do this, I can do that. It's just a shit show.
The thing is with Sullivan at the minute is that he's pissed off a lot of people, right, including myself, for a long time. But on this one, with going back to the Kudus situation, this goes way beyond anything really, right? He's trying to. I'm going to ask you this time, yeah. Do you believe he put a transfer request in? Because I don't. I generally don't.
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because he turns up for training and that, and he's glad to be back. But look, we've seen players do it before and that. I mean, not saying it's obviously a West Ham thing, but look at Adebayor, kissing the badge for Arsenal and that, and then all of a sudden, 3 months down the line, he was playing for Man City. Players come and go, and that's all they see us as. And Mo's no different. Did he put a transfer request in? They're saying it on Sky Sports as well. I mean, if he felt like he wasn't going to be getting anywhere, then there's a possibility that he could have done this just to try and force it through. But I think he knew full well that there's only one club that is interested in that, and that was Spurs.
Yeah. What I believe on it is that I just don't believe that he would put in a transfer request knowing that he's going to be sold anyway. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would you bother? Do you know what I mean?
I just think it's just so you can get it done ASAP.
But does he lose money on that though? Because
not really. I don't think so, because when you join another club, he's probably going to get a sign-on fee of how much. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, he's gonna, whatever he loses over the next couple of weeks or whatever he might have lost, which is, let's say he loses up to $1 million or something, his sign-on fee or sign-on bonus is probably like 5 times that amount or some shit. So it's tuppence. It works itself out.
Right, Tone. Any final words from you, mate?
It's there's a grey cloud over London Stadium at the moment. And does it clear? That's the question from me. Because where does it go from here? We're either going to go into a shitstorm, or we're going to suddenly the old cloud's going to part, and we're going to see light, and we see a load of players coming through the door, and we see a change. Other than that, at the moment, it's we've said it many times before, mate, but it makes it even more worrying with what direction this club's going.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, mate. Heartbroken, mate. Me, really am, because I fucking knew this was coming. I just knew it, and I fucking hate when I'm right. Tone, shout out your channel, mate.
It's Hammers Football TV. You can find me obviously on YouTube. You can find me on Insta, most of the social stuff and that. James comes on quite often. That Clive, if you're around, you're always welcome, mate. There's always a space open.
Thank you.
And other than that, James, thanks very much, mate. And everyone in the chat, don't forget, share, like, and subscribe to James. Goes a long way. And enjoy the rest of your evening, mate. Have a point on me, James.
Will do, mate. Cheers, mate. Take care.
That's Tony. Gonna need a fucking Jaeger bomb.
Yeah. Any final words from you, mate?
I think at this point, it's obviously, we can't change what's about to happen. I would say it can't get any worse, but it probably can. So ultimately, I think the next 10 days are going to be very vital to what happens to both West Ham on and off the pitch. Because, ultimately, if this now goes through in the next couple of days, there's no excuse for players not to come through the door before the summer series begins, which I think is the 21st of July. So we'll probably fly out after the Grasshopper game, which is the 18th of July or something. Yeah. So it's imperative for our manager to have the team that he is wanting, to have that full preseason, because whilst behind the scene things are glum, it really is just down to the manager to try and make sure that on the pitch it's not as glum, but things look bleak on both sides, unfortunately, I think right now.
Yeah. I'm going to let you go, Clive. You take it easy, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries.
That's been Clive. My final thought is this. I'm numb there. I just feel like I'm done. And I never thought I'd say that in all 38 years of my life about West Ham United Football Club. We, as a fan base, have got to come together now. Simple as that. I've been saying it. If you want a West Ham club to fucking live forever, yeah, we've got to come together and throw this cunt out the door. I'm going to say it straight to the camera. He's got to be thrown firmly at the door now. Like, he's insulted every single West Ham fan going. His arseholes fell out because he needs the money. And this is what we've become now. Right? For me, I don't really look at Mo as a Judas. I see people saying he's a Judas, he's this and that. Sullivan's fucking gonna turn it so it's the player's fault. He turned it with Moyes, he turns it with everyone. Do you know what I mean? Steiden, every fucking person going, he turns it. I will get to Adam because I was just about to wrap this up, but I'll let Adam come and have his 5 minutes. I'm fucking tired now, man. Tired. As West Ham United, for all the tradition and the history of this fucking club, we have got to come together now and say, nah, mate, nah, this ain't acceptable no more, right? And demand change. And if you don't like it, you're going to have a Burnley 2.0. It's going to be worse this time, yeah, because it's going to be more people. It's going to be people in the ground. It's going to be people outside the ground. It's going to go off. And I know it. I've been saying it for a long time. He's acid stripping. I've been laughed at. I've been taken the piss out of. I've had people calling me a fucking chav. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not fucking wrong though, am I? Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here fucking gloating. I'm heartbroken tonight. I really am. Because people will go, oh, it's only Kudus. This is just the fucking beginning. And I'm telling you something right now. Next season, if he need money, Bowen's up on offer. Mark my words on that. Bowen is up on offer. And if he goes out the door, he might as well just fucking jack it all in. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm fucking heartbroken. I really am. Adam, I'll give you a few minutes, mate, because I was just about to wrap it up, but take it away. Go on.
Well, first off, apologise for bad timing. I literally just saw you live now, James.
No worries.
Well, I've just literally, I can't believe what I've just seen. So I'm watching the women's Euros. I'm like, I'm having a good time, 4-0, doing well. I open the phone up. First post I see, Kudus has been, here we go, 55 million. It's just, it's either I laugh or I cry because it's just ridiculous. It's like we just cannot have any happiness. I remember after the Conference League final, next day afterwards, right, selling Declan Rice straight away, no happiness whatsoever. This is what we've done. We are barely surviving. We have to sell our big. I would have rather have kept Kudus. It's not. The thing is, you were looking for 85 million for him. You've then sold him to one of our rivals for 30 million less. And let's be honest. Mate. It just reeks as desperation. It just reeks of just. It just honestly, it's just so snobbery. You've got someone like Thomas Frank that's probably actually presented Kudus a good project and has told him, look, this is what we're going to do. You know, you want Champions League football. You know, is Potter just going to keep playing you in multiple out positions on the left or playing you in positions where you're not comfortable in? Has probably sold the product. But the thing is, it's not just that. I don't think Kudus, like you said, I don't think Kudus really cares. You know, if he was happy to stay here, he'd be happy to stay here. But we've sort of forced him out because of money, because we've been so shit. But remember, guys, this is the next level, right? We went from Upton Park to a soulless stadium that's not even ours to consistently be the same as we are. It's just honestly, we are never ever going to progress with him in charge. And look, the only reason I don't mention the owners that much is because I know the owners are in fault. I know the owners are the ones to blame, but I try my best to overlook because I don't want to keep going. But the problem is, you can't. It always goes back to Sullivan. And it's fucking embarrassing, James. It's fucking embarrassing the fact that where we were 2 years ago to where we are now, we thought maybe some sort of progression, maybe on the rise. He then got an absolute shit manager, Lopetegui, for years now. Sullivan, it's just been a business to him. That really has been it. Doesn't give a shit about the history, doesn't give a shit about the fans, took him away from our home. That it's just embarrassing. Nothing's ever going to fucking change. You know, Kretinsky's sat on his ass. I don't know what he's doing. Brady, I don't even want to waste my breath on her. It's absolutely horrific. And anyone that says, "Oh, it's just Kudus," "Oh, you know, oh, but we need money," you know, it's all right for him to go to Spurs. Spurs, yeah, I would have rather him gone to Chelsea or somewhere. Spurs. Like, do you know how fucking embarrassing this is? Here you go, Daniel Levy. Even though we were looking for 85 million, we'll give you him 30 million cheaper. Yeah, there you go. Just go for it, mate. You know, lowball us, keep going for it. And for Sullivan to sit there like a cuck and just completely let the deal go through, it just screams of desperation. Just screams of absolute. Honestly, it just does my nut in. I can't, honestly. I'm so pissed off.
All I'm going to say is that nothing changes until he's out the door. I've been saying it for a long time. And I've got no other fucking words, mate. I've said it for a long time. Yeah, I said it through the Moyes thing. And I think when Moyes was here, he covered up a lot of shit because Moyes took the brunt when Sullivan was getting a pass on stuff. The issue is now I think you've just gone completely over the edge. Any person in their right mind ain't going to have this. Who's a West Ham fan through and through. And no disrespect to people, and I don't want to be disrespectful to people here. But if you don't live in London or surrounding areas of London, it might not affect you. If you live in fucking Cumbria or Birmingham, you ain't going to have that affiliation with the Spurs fans. I do. Many other people do in East London, North London, North East London. And now you just got like if you want to sort this club out, you got to get him out. I can't say it anymore. I'm tired. It's proved it to me today. I said it the other day on a video. I literally said, I know what's coming. It's going to be between 50 and 58 million. And I said, what will happen is he will buckle under the pressure and he will accept whatever bid they throw at him next because he needs the money. And there's no bidding war. Do you know what I mean? David Sullivan takes the piss out of every club. Yeah. He goes in and he lowballs bids all the time. This is what he does, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying it, right? He does it all the time. Goes in there, like a club will want 25 million. You go in there with a bid of 12. This is not a serious club with him in it. And the question needs to be now, banners need to come out at away games, and we've got to get this fucker out of this club. Do you know what I mean? I walked away 9 years ago, right? And by the end of this year, it'll be 10 years. What's really changed at West Ham in 10 years? We're in shitloads of debt, right? We're getting rid of our best players, and We're no fucking better off than we was really when we moved, if I'm being real. We're not in our own stadium. We're in a shithole training ground. I can't keep saying it no more. I need yous all to fucking wake up and go, this is not right. And everyone to come together and literally throw that fucker out the door and fucking as far away from East London as possible. I can't do it no more. I can't keep saying it over and over and over and over again and consistently keep saying it. And I'm getting fucking emotional about it because this is coming, right? He is acid stripping. And there's always wankers on X, on social media, are telling us, right, that we're in this situation. Someone says there, we are worse off, James. We are. We're miles worse off now. We are sinking. We're in a sinking ship. Do you know what I mean? And that cunt is driving the fucking ship. So the questions need to be asked of him. Now, do players change the game here for West Ham? Maybe. I don't know. I seriously don't know. But on this one, I can't stress to you enough how worried, concerned, and angry I am in regards to this. Right? They're selling Mo. I've got not a problem with. If you want to sell Mo, you have to get the maximum for him. West Ham have just gone with a begging bowl to Spurs, like I said the other day, and said, please save our transfer window. They're laughing at us. Their fan base is laughing at us. And the only ones who can stop this is us. Yeah, I support any person who's bringing banners out. I support any person who's done protests. I can't say no more, man. I really can't, because it's draining the life out of me. I've been onto this for a long time. And the moment he goes, I can guarantee it, right, with my life, that this changes. This 100% fucking changes, right? If a new owner comes in, he will get the understanding of the club. I'm getting fucking emotional, mate, because my club is dying in front of my fucking eyes. It's dying. Like, we don't even know our own club anymore. Come on. This is not on. This is not on, and it's unacceptable. And any person who accepts it, I expect people to turn and say, why don't you fuck off down the road with him? Just go. Because it's unacceptable, right? We're supposed to be better than this. And what are we? We're in a I'll tell you what we are, right? We are a club in a fucking industrial state. Fading and dying like our fucking song. If we don't sort ourselves out, there won't be a fucking West Ham left. Do you know what I mean? I've always said this, and I'm going to round up with this, right? I've always said this, that if you don't sort this out, sooner rather than later, you're going to have a ground full of football fans and no supporters. That's the start. Yeah, it's getting rid of all the hardcore fans. They've had enough. I speak to people, I do lives, I do fucking spaces. People are telling me, James, they've had enough. Even Mitchell, who comes on this fucking channel, right, turned around and said to me, I'm not renewing my season ticket, James. People are walking away from this club. And we've got to do something. Because if we don't, we won't have a fucking club left. I'm telling you. I've been saying it for a long time. And I don't want to say I'm right. Because I'm not right. Because deep down, this is killing me. It's killing me. Any final words, Adam, from you?
I'll say what it's not a club anymore. It's now a business, and it's such a shame that we are now a club that was looking for ambition is now a club of desperation. You see, if you want to talk about ambition, you had a great opportunity, for example, like the Europa League a couple of years ago when we had Yarmolenko scoring obviously against Sevilla and that run against Lyon, and we could have brought some extra players in. We didn't do that. There's been you've seen the Burnley game, how that was in the past. There's been multiple times where you've just seen even our list of managers, Pellegrini, Moyes, and then you go down the list more, obviously with Potter, Lopetegui. These are not ambitious managers that want to take you to the next level for a movement of a stadium. Yeah? People are not renewing their season tickets. Why? Look at the state of us. It doesn't take a fucking genius to figure out why so many people are walking away. And it is sad. The amount of fans that we're playing against, the away fans that sneak into the home end, loads of them. And it's an absolute embarrassing and a shadow of the club it used to be. and that's sad to say, but it is. But we are, like you said, we are never, and it's sad, but we are never ever going to progress with this ownership. And this is the way it will be. And what's going to happen later down the road is you look at last season. I think this season's going to be very similar to exactly what we did last season, struggling and maybe surviving 15th or 16th. You then look at our other big players, Paqueta, if he doesn't get sold this summer, he might be put up. But I tell you, if Paqueta is not there, you are 100. If Bowen leaves this club, if Jared Bowen leaves, it's dead. It's completely finished. Jared Bowen is like the last. Say what you want about the other ones, but Jared Bowen is like the last bit of heart left in that squad, realistically. And if Jared Bowen leaves, holy shit! Like you might as well just say, look, we'll take the relegation at this point because it's just realistically. What else? Thing is, it's just tiring. James has
Yeah.
got it spot on. It's not even to the point of anger anymore. It's not to the point of frustration. It's not to the point of. It's just tiring. It's exhausting. Talking about the same fucking thing over and over and over again, and we're still stuck with this shit ownership, with no ambition, with desperation. Ticket prices are going through the roof. And more people are walking away because this club is losing its identity every single season, and quite frankly it's not even just it's exhausting, it's sad, and it's just disappointing. That is the best way to describe it for me.
Adam, thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. I'll let you go. Take care.
No problem, mate.
That's been Adam. That's the final person for tonight. I've let it all out. You know what the score is now, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do no more. We've got to do something. Simply got to do something. I'm just gutted. I've never been more gutted in my life. That we've gone down the road where I didn't think we would go. And that's where we've gone. We've gone down a road that I didn't think we'd go. I didn't think Sullivan would scoop that low. Yeah. But he has. He has. That tells me don't give a fuck. Simply don't. Yeah. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to E20 Zone TV. Hit notification bell. I don't know when I'm going to come back. I really don't. I'm going to have to take a bit of time on this one. I'm going to go and do a space now. So anyone who's on X, come over on the space, as you say. I'm going to try and get us through many people as possible. I am fucking heartbroken, mate. This man is killing our club and we're just standing there accepting it. I can't accept it. Do you know what I'm saying? I said it the other day. It's either I'm going to die or he's going to die. Right? Fucking put me out my fucking misery. Please. Take care.